Hello, my friends, and welcome to 2026. Happy New Year, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, all that good stuff. I am really excited to jump into this quick episode with you at a time of year that can be beautiful but also intense and overwhelming. So if you're listening to this and you are in that very weird, buzzy, tender space between years where, you feel equally full of hope and excitement, but there's also, and I got to speak for myself here, some underlying panic, some overwhelm, some of that feeling like you want to do and achieve everything all at once, and you know that you can't. This episode is for you, and it's also for me because I'm feeling it too. There is really something about the start of a new year that can bring up this quiet sense of pressure. It's like suddenly we're meant to have this clarity, this direction, this 5-year plan, the perfectly color-coded habit tracker and journal and new version of ourselves ready to fucking roll. And sometimes, if you're anything like me, this time of year inside, you can often feel very chaotic. And I have been really thinking a lot about 2026 energy. And I pulled a beautiful card when I was away for my 30th birthday about 2026. And the word that was essentially, so every year I love to have a word for the year to represent the energy of it. Last year's word was courage. And the word that I think was really given to me through this card and presented to me, which I love and also kind of hate and want to resist, is dance. And that word does not mean hustle. It does not mean grind. It does not mean to get it right. It means to dance with what is present. And the card that I pulled, this card was literally called the Whirling Goddess. And the message in the card was really simple, but quite confronting. It spoke about losing your head. It said there is a great dance, but it cannot be danced with choreographed steps. Basically, the card was telling me your mind doesn't get to run the fucking show this year. And there was a very, very big part of me that was relieved, because if I'm honest, I do often let my mind lead. I try and problem solve and lead from a lot of logic, and it wants to do everything and achieve everything when I know that it can't. And I, like you, probably have so many things that I want to do, see, experience, and achieve in 2026. I want to finish my study. I want to work and build my career. I want to build my coaching practice. I want to do the podcast more consistently and create content that's amazing. I want to deepen my relationships with people, be a better friend, be a present aunt. I want to travel. I want to run group programs. I want to go and speak in workplaces. I want to, train and move my body to feel strong. And I want to eat well and nourish myself. And I also want to continue to heal and grow and evolve and become. And maybe you are sitting here nodding along with me because maybe your list sounds similar but different, but maybe equally as long. And suddenly the year ahead, it just doesn't feel exciting anymore. It starts to feel heavy. And I was listening to a podcast recently, and this line landed really, really hard for me because I've been thinking a lot about how can I navigate this overwhelm. And I know that I do not have the time or the energy or the capacity to actually prioritize all of those things whilst continuing to do and live the life that I'm currently living. And in this podcast, it said, to pick something up, you have to put something down. Ouch. And also relief. To pick something up, so whether that's a new habit, a goal, an intention, a routine, a project, you also have to put something down. And here is what we're not talking about enough lately. You do not burn out because you're lazy. You burn out because you try and hold everything as being equally important. And for me, I'm changing it up this year. I definitely got close to burnout a few times in 2025. I wonder if you did too. So for me, this year isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters. And I love this mantra, do what matters. So instead of asking, what should I achieve in 2026? I'm trying to ask myself what actually matters to me in this season of my life. Not what looks impressive to other people, not what keeps me safe from judgment, not what proves my worth, but what genuinely aligns with my values, my word for 2026, and what aligns with that mantra of do what matters. Because when your values lead, and if you haven't explored or figured out your values yet, that is a great, and you're feeling this overwhelm, fantastic exercise to do. And maybe you've done it in the past. I would encourage you to do it again because they change over time and it might help you reground in. I'll make sure to link a simple values exercise in the show notes for you to complete. And I also encourage you to find a word as well for 2026 and tattoo that word on your forehead. No, don't tattoo it, but put it somewhere and remind yourself of it at least once a week. And when you do this, your goal setting, your intention setting, anything that you're setting, it can all get much simpler, cleaner, kinder. There are some things that do not need to come with you into 2026. Let's be honest. There are definitely some things that I know on that list that, or even maybe things that I'm doing or prioritizing in my life now that don't need to be there. And maybe these are expectations, maybe they are timelines, maybe they are the pressure to have it all figured out. And the dance, that's why I love this card and I love this word. The dance doesn't need choreography, it needs presence. It needs you to be listening, not trying to force anything. And that, I think, is going to be my challenge for the year, is listening and being present with what's right in front of me rather than reacting and trying to continually plan and force things. It's hopefully, and I'm saying hopefully for me, going to be a beautiful mix of setting some really strong intentions, but also being very courageous and letting go of things that don't need to be there, and maybe taking some risks by listening to the dance. So I'm very excited, and I'm also quite fearful and quite nervous. There's definitely a big fear of failing here. And this really might be the most important part, and this might be the most important thing that you take from this episode today. And this also might be the most life-changing thing that you can do for yourself this year. And that is to make the mistake. And I mean it. I mean, intentionally set out to make one mistake a month. Intentionally set out to say the wrong thing, to try something that freaking flops, to post the thing anyway, have the awkward conversation, change your mind and change it again. And I was having such a beautiful, cozy night last night with a little pad thai and watching my favourite show at the moment, which is Modern Family. And there was a line in there where they said, "We fail here." The Dumfies, if you know Modern Family, they said, "The Dumfies, they fail here. We fail here." And it really did hit me hard, because what if that is the energy that we need? What if the energy that we all need this year is, instead of perfection, safety? Like, genuinely, what would it be like to become that safe space within yourself to fail, to learn, to grow? And I truly do believe that that is the key to eventually actually succeeding, is to give yourself permission to make the mistake, to let yourself know that making these mistakes and learning from them and coming back from them is how you become resilient and how you become the person that you are. I think making those mistakes, and I have made so many of them in my lifetime, of trying the wrong thing, of walking down the wrong path that it simply isn't for me, and having to course correct, having to apologize, having to take responsibility, having to feel and meet the shame within myself of having made a mistake. They have led me to get to know myself so much more, and to also know what's super important to me. And now I can navigate those spaces so much better because I have those experiences. Yes, scary. Yes, very important. I think my message from this year is to really give things a go and do what's important to you. Do not let the overwhelm of the start of the year and all the things that you want to achieve or do or experience this year, don't let it overwhelm you, but instead put some things down in order to pick some of those things up. Get really clear on what's important to you and what capacity you have. If you got close to burning out in 2025 like I did, you're likely at 100% capacity, maybe even more. So in order for you to pick up any new habits or routines or focuses in 2026 and to succeed at holding them, it does require you to put some things down. And whether that is other projects, whether that is a scrolling habit, whether that is spending less time with a friend, maybe it's spending less time at the gym, I don't know, whatever it might be, but genuinely think about what can you put down in order to pick those important things up to you and what does matter to you. I think there are, for me, certainly a lot of habits that I have which involve scrolling on my phone or watching Netflix where not necessarily wasted time, but I could be doing those things differently. I think something I want to do this year is get clear on what rest really means to me and spend less time numbing out because it's all I can do and not get so close to that burnout space. I think that's really important. And to return to the word for 2026 for me, which is dance, and that card, and I'll leave you with this. The card said, know nothing and dance, sweet soul. Your heart will create the steps. And I'm living by these words. And for my brain, who is someone who loves to who thinks that you have to plan things out, it's really challenging, but it's also kind of exciting. And I want to remind you as well that you don't need to know exactly how it all works out. You just need to stay in the rhythm of what really matters. This year, 2026, is not about asking you to rush. It's about asking you to respond to what's in front of you and to what's within you, to navigate those spaces where when you get close to burnout, you do something about it, you do something differently. So maybe your only job as you step into 2026 is this. What am I ready to put down so that I can fully pick up what matters? Where can I soften? Where can I simplify? Where can I let it be a dance instead of a performance? If you want to achieve all the things and also feel so overwhelmed by where to start, I really want to remind you, you're not broken, you're human, and you're not alone. You do not need to burn out to be worthy of success. Don't end 2026 the way that you ended this year if that's where you were. Get clear, choose what matters, let go of the rest, and fucking dance your way into 2026, into being messy and imperfect and alive, and I'm right here with you. Thank you so much for listening as always, and I hope that you got something beautiful from this episode, from this quick one, and I'm really here feeling the excitement for 2026.